All right, not just me chain smoking. Kindness. Kindness. I don't remember exactly how I got on the topic. I mean, I just woke up. I haven't made any coffee. I'm drinking a Coke instead. Kindness. All right, so my introduction to kindness was pretty mysteriously, I don't know, it was kind of cryptic. Well, you know what? It wasn't really. I didn't understand that it was kindness. I didn't recognize it as kindness. I thought that the person that was being kind to me at the time was being a dick. I thought he was being an asshole. I read a definition that sometimes kindness can be mistaken for hypocrisy. You know? It's usually when people go, yeah, well, look at you. Right? And it's usually when your defenses are attacked, you know? See, it's a kindness to be considerate of somebody. You know, and what happens to me is this. People talk to me, right? And they ask me questions. Sometimes, a lot of times, I volunteer to try and start a conversation because I haven't been hanging out. I haven't been hanging out in the places I usually hang out. You know, like I go to the secret clubhouse, right? For about 30 years, I went to Alcoholics Anonymous. And while I was there, right, I met a lot of people. And I also talked a lot. I was thinking about this because I was talking to Stan. I used to have a program. I was programmed for Alcoholics Anonymous. And I studied the material, and I took it very seriously, and I practiced the material, and I tried to put it into my life practically. You know, I tried to take it into my life. I did a very good job. Done a very good job. So anyways, I used to be able to deliver a complete and coherent message in 2 minutes on just about any topic that you can find in Alcoholics Anonymous, which is also any topic that you can find in Christianity. It's any topic you can find just about anywhere. Because, I mean, really, God is central to every topic. It always comes back to God. All roads lead to Rome. All thoughts, all logos leads to the protos. You know, so, you know, no, and we're always referencing back. You know, forget about the past. I hear that a lot, man. I think that's very damaging. Do not forget about the past. Do not forget about the past. I don't want to argue with Alcoholics Anonymous right now because, you know what, fuck that. And it's not even the book I'd be arguing with. It's a bunch of fucking nincompoops that throw words around and they don't really understand them, like kindness. A lot of people think kindness is a sort of disingenuous, listen to somebody for a couple of seconds and make a sympathetic remark, try and pat them on the ass and encourage them a little bit. You know, and I think that's them being polite, which is way different than kindness because polite is attached to policing. So you might be listening to the guy. You don't really give a shit about the person, okay? And you just want to say something to kind of pacify the situation and move on with your life. Now, that's what I run into 99% of the time. That's not kindness. I saw a definition, because I was curious about it this morning. I saw a definition about kindness, and it talked about an Ellen card. I'm like, what the fuck's an Ellen card? I was like, I wonder if they mean Ellen DeGeneres. I wonder if Ellen DeGeneres, in her white saltine cracker way of trying to imitate Oprah, came up with some stupid shit like a fucking Ellen card. And what? Is she the goddess of kindness now? The LGBTQ goddess of kindness? You know, we're in this weird pantheist, pagan society, man. Like, everybody's forgotten about God. They don't know about God at all. See, and it would be unkind of me to not talk about it. And it comes up, right, it came up spontaneously. Came with my friend Amber. And let me tell you, it was a beautiful moment for both of us. You know? She was like, well, you know, she was telling me, it's kind of a private conversation, so, but I thought it was a beautiful moment, okay? And it's called being considerate. So it's a kindness to be considerate and disagree, okay? Because I don't agree with Amber in the conversation. I was opposed to her comment. But I love Amber. I think she's really pretty. and I want to kiss her on the cheek. I want to hold her hand, you know what I mean? I want to take her out for a hot dog. So, and a milkshake. Hot dog and a milkshake. But anyways, did I just digress? Hey, so anyways, but we're, so I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable, Amber. I hope you don't mind if I tell this story. But she goes, the Catholic Church does not respect women. I was like, what? Well, women can't be priests. And well, that's true. Women can't be priests. She also, so they don't treat women equally. I go, that's true too. We do not treat women equally. I go, listen to this. It said, Hail, Holy Queen, Mother of Mercy. Hail our life, our sweetness, and our hope. To thee do we cry, poor banished children of Eve. To thee do we send up our sighs, mourning and weeping in this valley of tears. Turn then, most gracious advocate, thine eyes of mercy towards us, and after this our exile, show unto us the blessed fruit of thy womb, Jesus. O clement, O loving, O sweet Virgin Mary, pray for us, O Holy Mother of God, that we may be made worthy of the promises of Christ. She was like, what was that? She had seen a look on her face. She's like, whoa. I'm like, I know, it's beautiful, huh? That's how we think of women. That's exactly how we think of women. That's how we think of the Virgin Mary. And then every woman that branches off of the Virgin Mary, right? From the Virgin Mary's time, the most central woman in history, according to the Bible, right? You might not believe in the Bible, and that's okay, but she's the most central woman in history, right? The actual bride of God, the only woman in history to give birth to the Son of God, aka God, right? One in three divine persons, the physical manifestation of the Almighty Himself. The Savior of the world came through a woman. Now, let me tell you, man, this might be disputed. Now, and I've never heard any actual evidence against it. Nobody's ever showed me a coherent argument about it. I make the claim, right? And I'm not the only one. I make the claim that if it were not for the Catholic Church, there would be no Bible, right? And this, I'm usually arguing with other Christians. So, and sometimes militant atheists. Now, this is their argument to that statement. That's not true. I go, okay. Show me how it's not true. Explain it to me. Show it to me. Tell me. If I believe you're telling me the truth and you have a good story about how that's not true, I'll listen to your story out of kindness to consider it. Because, oh God, I hope I'm not deceived. But you know what? I know I'm not deceived. I know I'm not deceived. I know the Catholic Church put together the Holy Bible as we know it. And if you follow the story and believe it the way it's written, well then, of course, Jesus is instituted the Catholic Church on Peter and through apostolic succession all the way through history that we can trace back, through historical documents, all the way back to Jesus. So, it's there if you want to see it, but people are going to tell you it's not true. People are going to tell you this and that, and they're going to appeal to your sin. They're going to appeal to your love. They're going to twist you up. See, man, in my opinion, really, the people that abuse women is the Protestants. And I believe it's always been that way. I believe Protestants abuse women. I don't believe Catholics abuse women at all. I go to Catholic church all the time, right? And when I go, I see husbands with their wives, with their children, with their grandchildren. And they're not abusing each other. I've never seen a Catholic man that I met at church hit his wife. I'm not saying it never happens, but I've never seen it in the church. Never seen anybody do it at church. Where I've seen it all kinds of other places, the supermarket, I've seen it in the parking lot of other churches, but never the Catholic Church. I've never seen it. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, just saying I've never seen it. you know? And, you know, then they talk about the evil child molesters, right? I'm talking about kindness. I'm getting off topic. So kindness is more of a policing. It's more of a polite. It's more of a way of excusing yourself, the way people understand it these days. It's a way of excusing yourself. And you see, a true kindness involves attention, involves consistent effort. See, man, when somebody comes up to you with a complex problem that they're having in their life and they just can't overcome it, it takes hours and minutes and days and months. And what kindness really is friendship. That's really what a friend is. Friends are kind. They show kindness. They walk with you through this life together. You know, when you're down, they try to lift you up. And when you're down, you try to lift them up. It's reciprocal, reciprocity. So if you don't know something, but I know, and I share it with you, right? And then it helps you along. Well, later on down the road, right? Or even maybe 5 minutes later on down the road, I'm having a problem, but I don't know the answer. But you do know the answer, right? And you share it with me. And I go, oh. See, man, true friends they're not authoritarians over each other. And there's this element in society where if I do something for you, then I am superior. I'm superior and you must always come to me because I am the leader of the group, right? Or, you know, in the little area of just one person. When people don't understand the object of their God-given role in any situation, because, you know, you're going to be a play actor, and, well, unless you're genuine, unless you're kind, you're going to be a play actor in a million different scenarios. Marriage, parent, son, daughter, you know, whatever. All along the hierarchy chain, which it seems like a hierarchy chain. And you know, in a way it is. You should always respect and love your parents. I mean, it's a commandment that God gave you in the Holy Bible. And I believe that was written by Moses, that part. So, anyways, in these roles, right, people have like lost the actual definition. They don't actually know what it means to be a husband or a father. Seems like people either worship their kids or hate their kids, right? Kind of like Democrats and Republicans. Everything's so extreme, right? And Aristotle, on the scale of eudaimonia, he always had the extremes, you know, on the left and on the right. He had the virtues and the vices, okay? And it seems to me that there's, you know, especially like in social media and in real quick interactions with people that I have as I'm trucking through town making friends, you know? And I actually do that. I truck through town and I make friends. I talk to people. So, I think people have lost their way. I think we're asleep, y'all. Not me. I'm not asleep. I know that I get deceived, though. I do. I know I get deceived. I know I'm off the mark. I know I can't quite put my finger on it, okay? But I do know this, and it's simple and self-evident, that as a society, we are asleep. And we've forgotten who we are. And everybody's infected with it to a degree. I'm infected with it. You know, especially when I'm emotional and I'm not practicing restraint. I made a video the other day that restraint, all the power I have is in restraint. So, kindness. Kindness is truth. And some people say that the truth hurts. I don't believe this. I think that my fear of examining the truth, the effort it's going to take, I think that hurts. That's what hurts. But the truth itself doesn't hurt at all. Doesn't hurt at all. Prying yourself away from something that, you know, has been a security blanket for you or some place to hide, right, in your fear. right? That's going to be painful. And, my reactions to it at first were like, hey, fuck you, dude. All right. But as time's gone by, see, man, and that's the funny thing about the truth. When you hear it, it sticks. It's unavoidable. It sticks. And you can fight it, and you can hide from it, and you can run from it your whole life. That's true. But it just drives you crazy. It just makes you crazy. So, when you're seeing these guys and they seem to be winning while you're losing, okay, it's not true. That's not the truth. When you're with the truth, then you're winning. Then you're winning. You're beating them. Even if they take everything from you. Even if they stomp your guts out in the parking lot. Even if you seem to be humiliated in front of people, right? Because the thing about being humiliated in front of people is people as a group, as a herd, are like pigeons. They're not even like pigeons. They're like turkeys. They're like turkeys. That's all they are, man. That's all they are. And you can scare a turkey to death. You don't even have to shoot it. You can just scare a turkey to death. I've done it. Boom! Then you breast that fucker and you throw him in the oven. So fuck all the feathers and shit. Just breast them. Call it a day. Yeah. Kindness. And kindness takes time, because sometimes people don't recognize it and they think you're the enemy, right? But if it's true, there's always going to be this connection of truth between you, and you will cross paths again. So you can always be patient, especially with somebody that's having a real big problem with something they really can't let go of and really can't understand and really can't do anything about. And it's important. You can't really be mad at them. Like, I can tell somebody to fuck off. Yeah, fuck off, dude. Get the fuck out of here, But I can always unfuck them. Look, I can be like, unfuck off. Come back over here. Right? Especially when they're down and out. And I'm like, I wish I had listened to you, Ben, when, you were being kind to me, 6 months ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. You were right. And then you can pick the conversation up back where you left off. And, how many people really have that talent to pick up a conversation where they left off 10 years ago? And believe me, man, I'm that guy. I can do that. I can pick up a conversation right where I left off. And it's because the truth don't ever change. And they want to tell you that the truth changes. But the truth doesn't. It doesn't ever change. Never changes. Like all this stuff that they're trying to get you to swallow and believe and accept and tolerate. Okay? It's not true. It's not tolerable. It's not acceptable. Well, what are you talking about specifically? Specifically, I'm talking about don't interrupt me when I'm talking. And you can interrupt me by having your own thoughts. So to truly listen to somebody, you can't be thinking your own thoughts. You have to be listening. And you don't want to be looking for a response. Right? You don't want to, you're just not waiting for your chance to speak. Right? You really want to hear it. You really want to digest it. Especially with somebody of superior knowledge. Ha! I used the word superior. But somebody, an expert, okay? I'm not an expert. Pretty good at what I do. I'm thinking about these things. I talk about these things. I share it with my friends. I ask them what they think. They very rarely come back with a response. Some of my friends do. My friend John. But, like my friend John, it's hard to, because he only types. So it's really hard for me to catch tone from him in his typing. Unless he's writing a poem. I have a really hard time catching a tone if it's sarcastic. Because, I'm in sarcasm in a world experience with people, I immediately attack it. I don't like fucking sarcasm. And, I've been known to throw back some sarcasm, and I've been known to be sarcastic, but I don't like it. And you want to use it as a tactic. I don't like sarcasm. I don't fucking think it's right. I think it's wrong. I think it's bad. I think it's evil. And I don't want to use it. Be like, well, you're sarcastic. I sure hope I'm not. I don't want to be sarcastic. I don't want to come off as sarcastic. I want to be direct. I want to be very serious when I'm talking to somebody. And there's a time and a place. And when you're in those situations where you have to really defend what you're standing in front of, sometimes you got to be a no-nonsense fellow. And I can be that guy. But when I'm talking to you guys, right, I want to come off gently. I definitely do. But I'm definitely going to talk about hard topics. And I'm going to use words that people don't like. I'm going to make them uncomfortable in the situation that they're in. Because there's a lot of polite that goes along with being a Christian that I do not agree with. Okay? That I think is not genuine. That I think is sarcastic. That I think is an excuse to hide. All right? Well, I don't want nothing to do with that. I'm going to go over here and bake cookies. I'm not going to be taken out of, this is not my, I guess some people, could genuinely say, this is not my purpose. This is not what I'm here for. I'm not here for this. And I have another purpose. I'm going to go do that. And I can respect that. And people try to say it in a sweet voice. And sometimes when they say it in a sweet voice, it's really still an attack. It's really still an attack. It's hard for people to understand that other people don't know everything that they know. Because everything they know is what they know, and they've always known. It's what they were taught. It's what they practice. Some people weren't ever taught these things. Some people don't even know what you're talking about when you bring them up. And, we do have a duty to some extent, and we all show our love in different ways, but we really do have a duty to God to go out and preach the gospel. Even in the Catholic Church, at the end of every Mass, the priest tells us to go out and preach the gospel, carry it out into the world. And he says that to men and women and children. He says it to everybody that's in the congregation. He says it to everybody that's there. Go out and preach the gospel, he tells them. And so, there's another argument of the Catholic Church doesn't respect women. Of course, it respects women. It respects everybody. It loves everybody. It has a genuine understanding of the dignity of life. And if you're alive, and you hear the word, you're supposed to go out and carry the word. Carry it and share it. Give it away. Church ain't just on Sunday. So, yeah, a lot of the lies about the Catholic Church are really easily, it's easy to point out. I saw a video my friend Shamrock shared with me. It really disturbed me because, this guy was given a breakdown on end times prophecy from the book of Daniel, talking about Nebuchadnezzar and the big bronze and bunch of statue, different type of stuff. And it goes all the way to the book of Revelation, which they don't understand. If they understood it, they'd explain it to people how it was written. But they can't do that because they don't understand it. They think it's a linear book. And, so he says, everything was, all right, arguable up to this point. So he gets to this point, he says, well, the Catholic Church, the Pope is blaspheming because he claims that he can forgive sins. Only God can forgive sins, right? And so I told my buddy Shamrock, I'm like, look, the guy's lying to you. He goes, well, how's he lying to me? I go, well, recite the Our Father. Well, I don't know that. Well, okay, I'll recite it. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. So when they asked Jesus how to pray, that is what he said, okay? according to the story. And if you're going to use the Bible, use the whole Bible. So, of course, Jesus just gave everybody permission to forgive. He told everybody they must forgive. Now, they're saying, well, there's a different type of forgiveness. Okay. There's that forgiveness, and it's God's alone. It says over here in the Old Testament. Okay, well, over here in the New Testament, right? Jesus came and he fulfilled the old, right? And made the new covenant. And the ark of which is Mary, right? Mary's the ark of the new covenant. So Jesus gave the apostles the authority not only to forgive sins, but to cast out demons and to heal. Spirit and life. Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. When Jesus said that, he was being tempted by the devil. After he had been driven into the wilderness. Book of Mark. I like the way it says it in Mark, because Mark says he was driven into the wilderness. A lot of people say he wandered off, in the other gospel talk about it. He wandered off into the wilderness to, be tempted and suffer for a while. 40 days, a period of time. Well, in the book of Mark, which is really Peter's gospel, he said, drove him into the wilderness. After his baptism in the Jordan by John, he was driven into the wilderness for 40 days, at the end of which he was tempted by the devil. Jesus wasn't a bully. So how much really should we put on this life? How much? How much stock should we put on this life where everything rots and falls apart and people go away? Right? And how valuable is one soul, in comparison to another soul? See, these things we don't know. We don't know. We're not even acquainted with our five senses anymore. So, it makes me wonder. It makes me wonder. It makes me think. And these are the thoughts that I think as I've been going. Because, the first time I opened the Bible, you know what I was? I was confused. I did not understand any of it. And I'm 47 years old. So at age 47, I have an understanding of my God and an understanding of the Bible. And he's incidentally your God. I'm not just saying he's exclusively mine, because he's not. He's yours too. So, and you're his. So, I have an understanding now, whereas I didn't before. I love my friends. I don't want them to be deceived. And let me tell you, man, if you're having if you don't know the Our Father prayer, you probably don't have any business trying to study philosophy or the apocalypse. The apocalypse of John. I don't think, and a lot of people do that. They just jump right to the end of the book. They don't know anything about what came before. They jump right to the end of the book. I see this with a lot of Christians. And a lot of Protestant pastors, they do this to them. A guy will come in, they'll say the sinner's prayer. He's like, you're forgiven, all your work is done. Sit here and listen to me, give me some money, give me more money. Come to my church, give me money. Go here and work in the kitchen. Go over here and take out the trash. Come to my church, and here's the Apocalypse by John. What about Matthew 5 through 7? What about the Beatitudes? What about the Old Testament prophets? Right? I'm 47 years old, and I've been in the Bible my whole life. I've been exposed to the Bible. I've never read Daniel or studied it all the way through. I've never gave it a serious study. And let me tell you, I don't really want to. I picked it up. I've read into it a little bit. Not read into it, but I've read the words printed on the page. I'm like, man, this is dry and dull. And nobody's ever made it interesting for me. Not even the Protestants. In fact, oh God. I've heard so many Daniel things, right? And this is how I was introduced to Daniel. And everybody always goes to that one spot. And I'm pretty sure that there's quite a bit more to the story than just that one part, just that one dream interpretation. I'm sure there's more to the story, okay? But my attention's always being directed there. And when people direct my attention, I'm always suspicious of having my attention directed by people. I'm never suspicious when my attention's directed by the inspiration of the Holy Spirit. Now that is magical. Woo! That lights me on fire. Because that's when I start thinking about one word, like kindness. Say, it's easy, right? To have somebody give you something that sounds good, it's convenient, right? But if you don't know what it means or where it's from, then it's meaningless. If you don't know what it means, it's meaningless. And you run around and you repeat like a little birdie, Once saved, always saved. I've never seen that in the Bible. I hear that a lot, but I've never seen it in the Bible. And you can't show it to me. I've had Protestants try to show me, well, this verse. I'm like, yeah, what about this verse? Oh, well, hey, man, you know what? Back off. I know you're lying to me. I don't want to be lied to. I don't like being lied to. It irritates me. I see how you act. I see how you run your church. Right? I see what happens to the people that go to your church. They become more self-centered, more exclusive, and they reach less people. See? So these guys want all the authority, right? They want the authority. The Catholic Church has no authority. We want the authority. Whoa, let me tell you something, man. Okay, a layperson in the Catholic Church has a lot of authority. We have a lot of authority. We're to go out and preach the gospel. That's what we're supposed to do. And we're not supposed to start a church. And we're not supposed to collect money. And we're not supposed to separate from the one true church. Now, you go over here and you look at the current situation in the Catholic Church. Well, as a Catholic, I will tell you that it's a bunch of malarkey and that I do not believe, okay, that the Pope and the bishops in Rome represent the Catholic Church. But you know what's nice about the Catholic Church? That really doesn't matter. They can go ahead and do any kind of evil thing that they want because they are men, and all men do evil things, okay? So they're going to go ahead and they're going to do some evil thing. I'm not excusing because their evil is great, okay? I mean, I think the Pope's going to hell. I don't think he could be saved. And this is another thing that's kind of fucking difficult for me. I don't think it's kind, right, for one of my Catholic friends to ask me to pray for the Pope. I don't want to pray for the Pope. I want him to get fired. To be perfectly honest, I might be wrong. Hey, I might be wrong in my thinking that, okay? Maybe I'm wrong, right? Maybe I should have voted for Donald Trump again. Maybe I should have done all these things. But let me tell you about my conscience. It's mine. And, if people are praying for the Pope, and he's already got plenty of prayers, I'm not going to pray for God to turn the Pope around from what he's doing. That might be God's will. God might want the Pope to do what he's doing right now. God didn't stop Judas. Did he stop Judas? No. And he told Judas and everybody what Judas was going to do. Like, one of us is a devil, and I know who it is. Go do your deed there, Judas. Go do it. And Judas went and did it. God didn't stop him from doing it. That was all part of the plan. And I think maybe he was doing it through example on account of some of the things he said. Take up your cross and follow me. He didn't say take up your comfortable car payment and your freaking iPhone and follow me. He said, take up your cross. And then what did he do? He went to the cross. That's probably the example. And so, it's frustrating for me when, my friends say, no, we shouldn't fight this. We should just go along with it and get on the cattle car. I'm like, life is preeminent. We have to defend life. We have to defend the weak. We have to defend people. We have to try and wake them up. We have to defend them. Life, it's life. You don't want it to be cut short. Do you want it to be cut short? What about all the little kids that have had a chance to live a life? And, so that's my reaction. Because I can't accept it. It's too hard for me to say, okay, let's take up our cross. God, man. And that's where everybody keeps telling me, just let it play out. Just let it play out. And I don't trust that. I don't trust that at all. Let it play out. I don't want to let it play out. And there I go. I think I just busted myself on YouTube. I want to live a happy, comfortable life with the people I love the most. I don't want to suffer. I don't want to suffer. I don't want to watch everybody I care about suffer. I don't like it. It sucks. So, why would God give me this point of view if I wasn't supposed to talk about it? And that's why I'm not the authority. I don't have the answer to that question. I'm not the authority on that. But I can talk about it. I can talk about it, and I can be honest with you. I'm honestly thinking about it. I think that's really important. I think that we should do that more. And I got fortunate. I got a few friends that call me that aren't trying to be polite and superior, like my friend Stan. Is definitely not coming off superior. He is coming off like a brother, and he is challenging me. So, my friend Brian E. O'Connell is not coming off superior. He's coming off like a brother, and he's challenging me. He's giving me things. Stan give me a short little thing here: context, purpose, results. You do it backwards: POI, agenda, point of interest. God, I swore I wasn't going to forget, and I did. And you come up with an agenda for an action plan to get a project or create a project done. And that is very important. That's what I'm working on right now, a creative project. So, but you already said it, Ben. You don't have to say it again. Oh, of course I have to say it again. I say it all the time. I forget. I know people with less discipline than me forget too. So, and yeah, I do. That's a judgment I made. It is. It's an actual value judgment I've made. I actually make value judgments, and I like them. What's good is being able to see, that I don't want to get in the ring with that guy. If I want to get in the ring with that guy, I'm going to have to work a lot harder, and I'm going to have to prepare to get in that ring. And even if I do prepare and train, I get in the ring, no guarantee I'm going to be his equal. Be an equal match. No guarantee. Even if I'm in the same weight class, I may not be an equal fighter. So, and I don't think, that comparative thought is really appropriate for this conversation. I think that, if you want to get in the ring with somebody, it might not necessarily be about winning a fight, but about coming to an understanding. Because I really think of it in terms of argument anyway, unless I'm talking about, pugilism. So I try to draw analogies using pugilism, but it's not, I don't think it's really appropriate in that one. Anyways, 40 fucking minutes, and I kind of blew it a little bit. But yeah, man, I was thinking about kindness. That's what I was thinking about this morning. So I'm going to shut the fuck up.